Hi, it's been a while. Hello, welcome to another Ramble video. How you doing? It's been yeah, I haven't done one in a while, and there's good reason for that. I have had a shitty time in the past 2 months or so. Um, the time I was meant to, well, not the past 2 months. The first, the time leading between the September Ramble and the time I was meant to actually record the October Ramble was great, up until around the 10th or so, when my mum fell incredibly ill, and my girlfriend decided, well, not decided, my girlfriend broke up with me. So that was incredibly terrible times. um, in general, I'm in lighter spirits, and I hope I can convey that in this next ramble video. I have no notes at all, so I'm just gonna see how it goes. This is gonna be a ramble video as true as a ramble videos can get, really. Let's see what happens. I guess just to start with my CML. My CML is of the past 60 days as opposed to the past 30 days, because I hadn't really shown you my CML in the past 30 days on the last one, because more than 30 days has passed. Hopefully, this isn't a trend where I just end up delaying the CML reveal or the monthly rambles for either bi-monthly or tri-monthly terms. But hopefully this isn't a habit of mine. Let's get to it. So let me just pull over the CML here. So here I am, showing the last 60 days or so. And you'll see that despite me having a couple of tragedies in my life, plus loads of uni work, plus doing some essay writing and reading and all these other pastime luxuries that I've been doing, I've been playing quite a lot, and I somehow managed to acquire 342 Ironman HP, which is great. In the past 60 days or so, which is about, this is probably above my standard of play. I only play around like 100 EHP hours a month. If I really wanted to distill it, my goal at the moment is to get like about 5 EHP a day, doing random things such as thieving or slaying or something like that. Farming, I count for that as well, so my farm runs a part as my EHP. So I really need to do like 4 EHP worth of shit to acquire my goal, for instance. But in general, I feel like I've done quite well for myself. As you can see, my XP has gone up, my level's gone up, my rank's gone up, and my combat XP is going up as well, because I've been doing a lot of more slaying, and I'll get to that later. In general, what you can see here is my attempts to try and get to my 20 mil goal, but not really hitting it, kind of diverging in terms of other skills that I kind of just wanted to train in the meantime. My current goal of going for 20 mil runecrafting kind of fell off par when I decided to drop my imbued heart inside of a Slayer, inside of a Zora instance, and then teleport away, so I lost it forever, which I'll get to in a second. But in general, I've just been doing a load of random stuff. The only kind of skill I haven't really trained deliberately, at least, would be construction and cooking. Cooking I haven't really touched, although I'm very close to 20 mil ore, which is quite nice. As we scroll down here, as you can see, I've been doing a lot more of the bottom skills here. The mining was for the volcanic mine for the volcanic ash fertile soil spell, which I thoroughly recommend getting. It's volcanic mine is actually a very enjoyable piece of content. I do quite like it. It's incredibly AFK for the amount of XP that you get, and hopefully one day we'll be able to get a group together where we all just decide to do mining to 200 mil, and there's always a group going on. That would be very nice to do. And I think that will start when volcanic ash is actually sold in the store, so you don't have to spend the time mining it manually. Although I do quite enjoy that. It's not that bad, honestly. You kind of just run around and do your thing. It's quite nice. But yeah, I've been mainly doing the thieving. So the thieving here is the massive big chunk of experience. As you can see, I've probably done about 130 hours of other shit while I've been thieving. I use my GameCube controller, so I've mapped a mouse click to my B button on my GameCube controller, which is hooked up via USB to my computer, and with that I just keep pressing B, so it's a one-to-one action all the time. I'm not cheating or anything, and I just do it at gem nights, and I have a lot of gems that I'll be showing you in a bit. The Slayer, as you'll recall, I didn't really do any Slayer from August to September because I thought I was already done with Slayer. I had my imbued heart. I was ready just to move on and do Slayer when things were a bit more broken. Slayer isn't necessarily one of the skills you want to do when obviously there's going to be updates which come through which will devalue it. But I'm quite enjoying Slayer with the new task list, and I'll get to that later as well. I'm still keeping up with farming. I have a lot more farming to do as well, and I'm very pleased with how much farming I've done, considering the amount of Zoro you need to do to get the farming. Of course, I could have done a lot more farming if I had a lot more Mole KC in the past, but Mole isn't necessarily something I enjoy, and maybe that's a topic for another time. Specifically, runecrafting has been my skill of choice until I decided to stop doing Zoro because of the loss of my imbued heart. I am the sole. I hold sole responsibility for the change of the HP rate from 50k to 55k because I've been doing all of that as ZMI. No lavas, no souls, no anything, just ZMI, pure ZMI. I love ZMI. ZMI is a great piece of content, and I can do it forever, essentially. I can't wait to use all my essence that I get from all the Zoro that I'll be doing. And I guess I did a bit of Hunter as well, but I'm not exactly too sure as to where that came from. Maybe that was just a bit of Herbivore on the side when I felt a bit down and low. I don't know. But anyway, here's the current XP graph. There's been no real breaks really. I'm just kind of going up as per normal. Really accelerating my XP gains from a steady 461 to up to here in the span of 2 months or so. That seems pretty good. So let's head back to the main games before I log out. Currently geared to do an Aberrant Spectre task. Maybe I'll do that on this ramble. I'm not too sure. And I guess we'll go through the bank. So, sorry about that. So the bank's looking quite well at the moment. Quite healthy. I quite like it at the moment. I don't have enough essence to finish 20 mil rune crafting. I think it's around 130k or so that I need. So I'm about 50k off. And I could go to Zoro's for the 300 kills that would take. But killing Zoro without an imbued heart is fucking dreadful. And I don't wish it on anyone. I really do want an imbued heart to kill Zoro again. Maybe I'll be using my magic potions. I have a lot of magic potions in the bank. Maybe I'll just bring a few of those. But in general, I just feel kind of shitty without my imbued heart. I can't believe I dropped it. It's been such a shitty experience. I laughed and I never really got sad or anything. I immediately geared up and went back to Slayer, which is quite fascinating how that happened. And I found like a spark, like an inspiration. It's like shit, I want something that I lost back, As you can tell from my rune count, I've been doing a lot of rune crafting in general. The astrals tend to go down quite a lot because I use 50 of them per herb and I do many herb runs a day. And I tend to just give in and buy those because you just end up needing to buy those anyway. But in general, the nature runes and the deaths and the cosmics and the chaos and the bloods and all the souls and all them lot, they've been keeping at a very steady rate, very high rate for a while, and I doubt I'll run out anytime soon. That's mainly because of ZMI. ZMI has increased the amount of runes that I have incredibly highly. My cash stack is suspiciously low, or suspiciously high considering the amount of alcohols I have, and I'll get to those in a bit. Daily battle stats as usual. The unpowered orbs are from the giant seaweed I've been growing because I'll be getting seaweed spores from the fossil island wyverns, which I've been doing, which is quite nice. All these clues in the bank. I still don't know whether I want to do clues anymore. The original reason I was doing clues was for the Taibo One Eye scrolls for the Calquots. But what I found is that I could just teleport to Brimhaven House Portal and run down, and I didn't really mind that much. I felt like the run was worth it in a sense. I'm out of scrolls now. I don't really miss them that much. You know what I mean? So now to the seed tab. My seeds have been going down slowly. These seeds are just for the ones from I've been getting from Slayer. Mainly maybe Aberrant Spectres and Necreals and all this other good shit. In general, I've been going for my Toflax. So if you saw from a couple months ago, you probably saw my Toflax getting near 900s or so. They've been going down slowly. What I tend to do is grow the shittiest herb and then the best herb in the 3 good patches. So the good patches would be Trollheim, Korend, and Cafferby. Those are the 3 good patches. The 2 patches that don't die, and the one that gives you the most yield. All the other patches I don't really care about. I'd be growing any other seed in them, so I may as well grow the worst ones, right? So I just take 4 Toflax, and then 3 of the other seeds that I'm growing at the moment, I just plant those in. That's fine. I stopped growing the limpworts though because you tend to get a lot of limpworts, and I doubt I'd really need any more than what I'm already getting from Necreals and Kurasks, so that's fine. I need another seed to do a tree run, but I already have these seeds, so I probably will do a tree run actually. I did about 700, 800 Zora kills in a row, just like day after day after day. I had a big 4-day stint of just doing all Zora all the time, and I really enjoyed it. It really took my mind off things when things were getting quite down for me. So I'm quite stocked up with papayas. That's another 20 days of papayas, and I should be good to go. I also need to head back to Mole when I run out of mahoganies, but that should be for another month or so that's fine. This right here, these poison ivy seeds. This is when I kind of guesstimate that I'll have enough white berries to see me to 200 mil herb lore. But that's probably going to be around like 30,000, 40,000 white berries or so. And I'm I'm surprisingly close, as you can see. I have like 11k already. Here's my herb tab. I was contemplating whether I keep this secret until it's actually done, and done being like another 2 years or so, just to see like 100k worth of some herbs or something. But as you can see, it's getting up quite nicely. There's no real. I will never use these guam leaves. These are just collectibles, and I use them for cleaning, and that's about it. Because there's 0 time picking them up and cleaning them is okay. I'd have no use for Marantils anymore, considering the Chaos Altar update that's coming out in the Wilderness in the next couple of weeks or so. That ruined prayer completely. You don't need Marantils anymore, so these are just going to be here forever. Maybe I'll use them for something else, but I doubt it. Maybe I'll just make some anti-poisons with these unicorn horns, which have been here forever. I'm not sure where they came from, but whatever. I don't grow Taramins, but I just pick them up and I use them for tars, which is fine. Same, the Harrowlanders are worth growing though. They're better than Toadflax in terms of herb XP per hour because of the secondary, because of the speed at which you get the secondaries. So I grew all the Harrowlanders that I got from Master Farmers. So that's where the extent of the Harrowlanders came from, and I'll be using those eventually. Raynors are stacking up fine, and the Toadflax is nearly hitting 20k. To get 200 mil farming, I should have the nest to cover all this. Any more than that, it's probably not worth growing Toadflax for. So at the moment I'm growing my Toadflax, but there's going to be a point at which it's not worth me growing my Toadflax anymore because it's not worth going back to Mole for, which is unfortunate. And all the rest of the herbs are fine. Irrits, Avantos, Guams, Snapdragons, quite nice. And the red spider eggs are going to be a shitty thing to get. Although I'm probably going to be waiting for herb lore, to do herb lore at least, until they come up with the farming expansion, probably summer next year or so. Hopefully tied to that would be some sort of secondary gathering mechanism, which is either on par or slightly less than, but not as time consuming or 0 time type of secondary collection for blue dragon scales and red spider eggs and all these other things. Excuse me. But in general, they're all stacking up. Of course, I have enough white berries to cover this already, and because I've been doing berry runs and all that other shit. Dwarf weeds are probably never worth using unless you have a good Minor Zamrak suggestion to get. And I doubt I'll be doing any KQ anytime soon, unless I get a Dragon Warhammer and feel like doing it, but I doubt it, honestly. It's just not really something I'm interested in. The pet doesn't interest me, and the wines are okay, I guess. But if I wanted wines, I'd just grab them, and grabbing them is shit anyway, so... but yeah, it's all stacking up fine. Limpworts are always going to stack up, and it's just kind of something I've relegated to to my bank, essentially. It's just going to stack up and I'll have enough to cover all the qualms that I'll need anyway. It's just no big deal. Birdnest looking nice. And as soon as I run out of these poison ivy, so I'm using these to guard my Calquats and blah 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 blah, blah. Potions. It's never running out of prayer potions, never running out of super stores. Just going to keep using them on Slayer tasks as appropriate. Clue scrolls, not really much to see here, just kind of random shit. My Zora tab's looking up nicely. 20, that's nearly 20 mil cooking banked with these sharks and some other things in my bank that I need to cook. What else? Oh yeah, here's my imbued heart, which I don't have anymore. That sucks. But yeah, I stacked up a load of teleport scrolls, so I'll be able to burn through those once I get my heart back. And I worked out how many scales you need to get to 200 mil prayer and Slayer. Turns out you need like 3.5 mil to 4 mil, which is around 16k Zora kills. If you just head to like 18k or so, you should have a surplus. Like for the variants or so. So around 16k is my goal at the moment, and once you hit around there, you should have enough scales for everything. That's just something to pocket. I'm at 3.1 mil toggle from all the thieving I'm doing, and that's going to hit up to nearly... I don't know if it'll hit 10 mil, so it might. I hope it will, because that looks sick. Just have that much toggle. But that's not going to look sick in the fact that I need to buy all the gems with the toggle, because that's why the gem knights are worth it in general, but it's whatever. But yeah, stacking up the gems, it's just ridiculous the amount of gems you get and all the crafting I'm going to have to do eventually, but... Oh well, I didn't ask for this, well I did, so... Yeah, growing giant seaweed, this is definitely worth doing. You do Fossil Island Wyvern tasks on your rotation, on your task list, and you end up getting seaweed spores, and these are super worth doing. As soon as they fix the fact that you get the full amount of crafting experience from them, I'll start using these, but... And I did use a few of them already, but... That's neither here nor there. What else? I've been making cannonballs with my still bars, for lizardman tasks. I do lizardman shamans on tasks now because I'd rather have a opportunity and a reason just to go do them. And I may as well get Slayer XP at the same time. Having cannibals increases your kills per hour by like nearly 50%, so that's quite nice. And I nearly have 20 mil construction banks with all the teaks and mahoganies here, which is quite surprising. Same with fletching. I don't have. I'm doing like 100k at a time at the moment, and I only need like a few more of these, and that should be fine. Same with all the darts as well. Just all this other random shit I need to get done. That's pretty much 20 mil fletching in the bag. And the rest of it's just junk here. I got all my outfits out just in case I wanted to go fishing or I wanted to go woodcutting, or I obviously do thieving a lot now. If I wanted to go, I just don't have to. I don't have to worry about going to my house every time I wanted to get a uniform or something. PVM tab is looking quite normal as usual. They're just stacking up with all the Slayer drops. Got a Curious Had yesterday, which is cool, I guess. I mean, it's whatever. I'm not sure where my Neats helm went. I must have lost it somewhere, so I have to get it back. That's fine. Anything of interest here? No, not really. Just the same God Sword shards that I had, and whatever. And then the Slayer tab. So my prayer is stacking up to the skies, essentially. This is where all my outs are as well, and you're able to see how much GP I actually have. Yeah, my Ensouled Heads are stacking up, my bones are stacking up. I'm saving these bones for when the outer comes out in the wilderness, which means that there's a 50% chance that you don't lose your bone at all. And that isn't per bone. That can keep stacking, so it can keep proccing in a sense. So you can use the same bone more than once, and it doesn't get rid of the chance at all. So you can be using the same bone 5 times and getting the full amount of experience from it. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why they thought it was a good idea for this to be the case, but pretty much half the time that it took to get 200 mil prayer. If you RNG'd your face off, you'd be able to use the same bone to go to 200 mil prayer. It's fucking insane that they didn't think about that. But hopefully they made it so it can only proc on one bone once, you know. But yeah, here's all my alks essentially. So all these air battle stats I still need to alk. Yeah, there's 200 mil worth of shit in there anyway, and just some other random alks in general. I'm not sure if it's someone get back to me if these big bones are worth using, and if it's worth me picking up baby dragon bones on Black Dragon task, because at the moment I just use Bone Crusher on them and it's no big deal. But all these are from Curious, and that's fine. But yeah, in general, things are going well. I'm not sure if there's anything else to really talk about. I've just kind of been rambling on my bank and my CML and all this other things. My real life's going well. I just finished my consciousness essay on Thomas Nagel's What It's Like to Be a Bat, in which I described the criticisms of reductionism and the pushing forward of Nagel's claim that there are facts which are obvious to us in the sense that we can imagine them, but they are unknowable in a sense we can't confirm them. What does that mean? What implications does that mean for our objective reality and what we seem to be true? I wrote a long essay on that. Maybe I'll put that in the description if you guys want to read it. If you want to read it, leave a comment and I'll send it to you. I will send it to you after I've turned it in, as to not seem as if I were copying someone or whatever. And I turn it in on Thursday at 2 p.m. So send me a message on Twitter and I'll be able to send you that. If you're interested in anything to do with consciousness and that type of thing, I'll be able to send it to you. What else? Yeah, in general, what are my goals at the moment? So I want my heart back. As soon as I get my heart back, I'll be going back to Zora, and that's fine. I can pretty much guarantee that I'll probably never get my heart. And it's probably going to happen. Although I'm on an Aberrant Spectre task at the moment, and I did get my Eternal Gem and my Imbrued Heart from an Aberrant Spectre Superior, so it could be the case. 20 mil always on hiatus at the moment. The main thing I was going around with that was my rune crafting. I was hoping that I'd be able to get 20 mil rune crafting just through ZMI and get that out the way. So that was the case. In general, I have around 600 hours worth of playtime, EHP or so, to get to it. But in general, I'm just kind of doing skills I enjoy at the moment. I enjoy Slayer. I enjoy rune crafting. What else do I enjoy? I enjoy thieving. Thieving's got to be done by like April or something, which is if I get a million experience a day, which is around 4 hours or so, which is easy because I do 4 hours of reading and other internet things while I just press my B button, as it were. If I get a million experience a day, that's around April or so, beginning of April, I'll finish that, so that's no big deal. Yeah, in general, I've just been going along. I don't know what else I can really talk about, to be honest, because maybe I can show you, maybe I can go through my Slayer task log. kind of describe. Oh yes, so this is probably my final point. Osiris. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description to a video that Osiris made around 2 years ago, which went through every single Slayer task on Ironman and showed you how to do them. I've been recording clips. With all the tasks that I've been doing. So at the moment I have Aberrant Spectres, Blue Dragons, Smoke Devils with Cannon, although I want one with just darts. I have Necreals, Red Dragons, Skeletal Wyverns and Blood Velds. What I need recording of are Dark Beasts, Black Dragons, Fossil Island Wyverns, Gargoyles, and something else. I can't remember what other tasks that I do, which I need. Curasks. I think that's it. Of all the tasks I do. As soon as, and Dagonoffs as well. When the Serp Helm buff comes through. So when you hit something with a toxic weapon, it 100% guarantees to venom it. As soon as that comes through, I'll record clips of that. And then what I'll be able to do is edit a video together showing all the different tasks that you do on an Ironman, which I think are efficient at least. I currently have a spreadsheet. If I can pull that up actually. Let me just pull this over here. So using Jimbino's spreadsheet, I've kind of messed around with the XP rates and all this other stuff. And this is the task list I'm currently using at the moment. As you can see here, so it's Dark Beasts, Necreals, Smoke Devils, Black Dragons, Dagonoffs, Gargoyles, Blood Velds, Red Dragons, Fossil Island Wyverns, Skeletal Wyverns, Aberrant Spectres, Dust Devils, and Blue Dragons. Oh, and Dust Devils only recording of as well. I can kind of go through the rationale of them now and then put it in the official video of the commentary once it's actually done. Dark Beasts are skip tasks, and they give good heart chance because they're superior, so they're actually really good tasks in general. If you want, they're just for points though. Necreals are the best herb tasks in the game. They give you loads of cash, probably the best cash task in the game as well, so you want to extend those and use bracelets on them. Smoke Devils I do for experience, and I use bracelets on them. They're quite nice to do, and you get the most experience from them in general. Black Dragons are a skip task. Dagonoffs, you want to use a bracelet on them, and but you want to do them in the catacombs at the moment, just meleeing them. But once the Serp Helm fix comes through, you'll be able to just do them in the basement of the lighthouse and kind of tag all of them, and they all just die from venom in a minute. And it's an incredible method, which I wish they didn't break in the first place. Gargoyles are just a standalone good resource task. Blood Velds are incredible experience, melee experience, incredible Slayer experience, and very AFK. They're a very good task in general. You get a lot of prayer experience from them as well. Here comes the Dragon task. So the Dragon tasks are now all good. They're all good because of the altar that's past the poll and is coming out. So your bone is potentially worth way more than it gives you. Originally, it would just be worth 252 experience. Now it could be worth up to double that, essentially, if it keeps proccing. So the amount of experience a bone now has is near infinite in a sense. So it seems logical that you just want to do every single dragon task because each bone is potentially just 200 mil prayer. The chance of that happening is super low. If you take the normal chances, you get like 400 XP a bone per Ray Dragon kill now, which is fucking incredible. Like, why didn't they think of this? But yeah, Ray Dragons are just good in general. The Dragon Javelin tips, they out for 1k each, so they're good to pick up. They drop like Rune Longswords and Aberrant Plate Bodies and all those other things. And the Red Dragon hides that you get from Karandra Elite as well, they come noted. So you can pick those up and they're good crafting XP. So they were worth it before the altar comes through anyway. They're a task we want to do. One thing that wasn't worth it before the altar came through probably was Fossil Island Wyverns. Although they probably are worth it now. The debate was whether it was worth the slim chance of you getting 6 seaweed spores for you to get giant seaweed, so you don't have to buy seaweed from charters and for your blowing glass and stuff like that. And I was under the impression that it was probably worth doing. I like the task anyway, especially now that they're nerfing the defense of them, so it'll be as easy to kill skeletal wyverns. And they give good drops anyway because of the bones and all this other stuff like drop like noted T-clogs and all those other things. I think they're pretty good. Skeletal wyverns have been quite hotly contended, mainly because they're quite far away to get to, and the drops don't really seem worth it in the long run. But now that a bone is worth infinite amount of prayer experience, then yeah, of course you want to kill skeletal wyverns. Plus you kill around 25,000 of them, so you're bound to get 2 visages if you wanted them anyway, which is quite nice. So. And they're good money in general, and they drop Raynor seeds, which means that you gotta have infinite prayer potions essentially. The Aberrant Spectres, they are the task probably worth looking at the most in terms of cutting them, especially considering the amount of Herbivore you get from Herbivore. So if you did Herbivore, It's around 7 hunter experience to 1 herblore experience if you don't use dwarf weeds. I can't remember. Or I think if you do use dwarf weeds. So if you don't use dwarf weeds, it's like 6 to 1 or whatever. So you get around 40 million experience, hunter experience, 200 mil hunter and herbivore. So that's a massive amount of chunk of herblore you don't need to get in Slayer. Aberrant Dagonoths are really fast tasks with the serpentine, and they give the lowest herb, but they're really fast tasks in general, so they're worth doing for the Slayer XP. Necreals are really good money, really good herb. Best herb tasks in general, you don't want to cut those. The herb tasks you probably want to be looking at cutting. Oh, it looks like, I just realised I didn't have Curasks in my task list. I'll add that later and see if it changes anything. But in general, Aberrant Spectres are probably the one you probably want to look at cutting, but in general I think it's fine. Dust Devils I do for magic experience, and I do for experience, Slayer experience, and I do with a bracelet as well, just to I didn't miss any tasks that I use bracelets on. I use bracelets on Necreal, Smoke Devils, Dagonoths, and Dust Devils, the extension bracelets. The skipping bracelets aren't worth crafting in general, because the tasks you do want to use them on are too short. Dust Devils, I do for magic experience and just for general experience, and they're fine. I have them extended as well. I might look at unextending them, because they're a task. They're my least favorite task, which is unfortunate, but that's neither here, because you only get to tag eight of them, and it's kind of slow in general. And then blue dragons, you don't pick up the hides, so you just pick up the bones, because the bones are worth infinite amount of prayer experience, and they're just a pretty standard task anyway, so that's fine. Calphites, Cuirass you want to do as well. That's another task that's probably worth debating. With the leaf bladed battle axe buff, which increases your damage to them by 17.5%, and it's probably it's probably a good melee AFK task where you just turn on piety and kill them essentially. So that might be worth doing. But it's just time will tell for that. I do them at the moment because I find them worth it. So right here is some calculations I've done in terms of the amount of herbs that you get per kill. I don't have any numbers for any of the other monsters which drops herbs, such as the dragons and dust devils and all this other stuff. But in general, this is the biggest chunk of, because these drop seeds, right? So this is the biggest chunk of herb experience that you'd be getting. Currently, I'll be getting around 146 million herb XP from 21 million Slayer XP that I have at the moment. So the rest of the Slayer XP covers for this amount. If you're starting straight at 99, I think it's like 150 million or so. So it's quite a lot of herb experience. I did the same for prayer, so you can see how much prayer experience you get from this. But again, this is complete. This is just bare minimum. If each bone has a chance to proc 50% of the time, then this is the amount of prayer experience you get, because you get like 417 per red dragon. That's including the ensouled heads, same with blue dragons. But like your bones could be worth infinite amounts, so you probably be getting way more prayer experience than that, which means you don't have to kill as many green dragons in general. And from that, I use blowpipe on Dagonoths. I would be using blowpipe and serpent helm on Dagonoths, so it would be 6.8 scales per kill. Red dragons I use blowpipe on, which is 10 scales a kill. Specs I use blowpipe on, which is 6 scales a kill, which works out to be around 2.4 million scales per for 200 mil Slayer. And if you take that and then divide it by 223, which is the average amount of scales you get per kill with Zora, that's around 10,793 Zora kills just for the Slayer portion. Of course, you want to take into account the amount of prayer experience you need from the bones you get from green dragons, and obviously it's 5 scales per kill with green dragons, right? I worked that out earlier, so you probably want, and that's like another extra like 6k kills or so. Especially considering the amount of prayer experience you'll be getting anyway. So yeah, that's about it. I'll get to him later. Sorry, bud. I'm recording a ramble at the moment, which you'll probably be seeing. And I think the answer to his question is no, but I'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'll be making a video on how to actually do Ironman Slayer by the end of the year. Hopefully they put in the updates regarding the leaf bladed battle axe and the serp helm by the end of the year, and I'll be able to get that out to you. Right now I'm going to do an Aberrant Spectre task, so I hope you and yours are well, and I will see you next month. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like the video, dislike it. Leave a comment telling me why, and I'll have a chat with you, tell you why you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Another thing, last thing I wanted to talk about was the Twitch streaming. So Boti made it so that you can apply to connection loss if you have 750 followers on Twitch. You stream 70 hours a month, and you part of affiliate. If you look at my Twitch channel, which I'll link in the description, I'm an affiliate. I have more than 750 followers. That's mainly because I used to stream World of Warcraft. So they aren't RuneScape followers, but they're still followers all the same. The only issue here is that I don't stream RuneScape 70 hours a week, 70 hours a month for it. And that would so if you assume say 30 days, that'd be like 4.2 hours a day. So I'd have to stream like 4 hours a day or so to get up to 70, and that's just not something in my schedule at the moment. So maybe in the future when I have a lot more free time, and I'll probably want to take streaming as a serious career option also. But that's not the case. My time is probably worth way more than streaming will ever be for me, because I'm currently in my last year of my undergraduate, and I'm going into a master's next year, so into something which is quite lucrative. So there you go. Streaming is something I could pursue with my channel at the moment because I have the followers and I have the affiliate, but I don't have the time to put it in. So it's kind of something I want to hit on. It's something that's in the back of my head, but ultimately something that isn't necessarily realistic. Maybe if situations change and I somehow fail university, then something along those lines will probably have to be on the books. Until then, I'll just be playing as normal, doing my student stuff as normal, and seeing where life takes me. So again, hope you and yours are well. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please like it. I don't know if it helps me out a lot. I know a lot of people say it helps them out a lot, but I don't know if it actually does. I don't know if likes actually correspond to it appearing on suggestions for other people. Hopefully my tags do that work in general. But yeah, if you did like it, just give it a like, and let me know why you liked it. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it, and contact me on Twitter, and maybe we'll have a discussion. I'm currently in Discords at the moment talking about politics and all these things, and that's quite nice to do. So, yeah, I've been XP wasting for the last half an hour or so, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good month. Take care, guys, and peace.